Scheme.
I make the S sound.
Scheme.
That's just hard.
I'm recording. So 1.3 example number 5 is a question on population data, and they want us to estimate the population, in for 2000. Now obviously this book was written before that, right? And then compare it to the actual data. Actually, this version of the book was actually released in 2010. And so they're going back, they're going way back. And I'm not going to write it all out because it's in your textbook. But basically, well, maybe we should do it. So it's the year, and then they have the population. And it's a whole bunch of numbers. So it's like 1880, 1890, 1900, 1910. So every 10 years. This is probably based on the census. 1930, 1940, 1950, 1960, 1970, and 1980, and 1990. And so what they want to know is what's it going to be in 2000? Okay? And so that's the year, and then the population in millions. So we started off kind of small, 50 million. So we got 50.2, 63.0, 76.2, 92.2. That's 0.2. 106.0, 123.2, 132.1, 151.3, 179.3, 203.3, 226.5, and then 248.7. And so this is what we want to know. Now, you can do this in your calculator, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to do an exponential model. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing on my calculator. So what I want to do is I want to hit Stat and Edit. Now there's probably some stuff in here. Yep, because from our last problem. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hit Clear. And if I hit Clear and hit Enter, that clears all that out. And then I do the same thing over here. So we're going to enter in 1880 all the way down to 1900. So we'll say 1880, 1900, 1910, 1920. I'll erase you guys. Okay, did I get them all? Did I miss anything? Alright, so now we're going to do these numbers. This is kind of a long and tedious task, but that's okay. So I'm going to do 50.2, 63, 76.2, 92.2, 106, 123.2, 132.1, whoops, 0.1, 151.3, 179.3, 203.3, 226, whoops, Oh, if I screwed up there. 203.3 enter. 226.5 enter and 248.7.
Wait, Mr. Allen, for the one before that is 50. It's in it register.
226.5. Thank you. All right, so I think I've got them correct. We'll know in a second. So now that I have the data in there, if I want to look at the data, I can come into plots, make sure that first plot is turned on. And once I turn it on, I'm going to go to zoom. And I'm going to select option number 9, which is zoom stat. And what that does is it adjusts the window to all the stat data that I've entered into the list. And so there's what it looks like. Looks exponential to me. It could be quadratic. Could be. But it looks exponential. So now if I want to find the line of regression, what do I do next? Well, I hit stat again. And I go to calc. And I'm going to come down here. And I could do an exponential regression. Boom. And if I want to store the equation, I could store it where?
Vars, y vars, right? Isn't that how you do it?
Yeah, so you would say vars, y vars, function, y1. And then that'll, so whatever my equation is, it'll store it in y1, y sub 1 equals, which is a function. So now that I'm done, I'm going to hit calculate. Boom. And it's done. So this is what the equation would look like. It's 1.59 e to the negative 10. My base is 1.01. And that's going all the way back to 1880. So those are some big numbers. So now what do I do? Well, if I'm curious to see what my number would be, I'm interested in the year 2000. So if I go to graph, notice that it's drawing my exponential function, and it's pretty darn close to all those lines. I could hit trace. I don't know if it'll fit on the screen, but if I hit trace and I'm on the graph, I want to make sure I'm on the graph. I don't want to be on that graph. I want it to be this crazy graph. And if I enter in 2000, it says about 308 million.
Wait,
308.2.
I'm at trace and it's not letting me.
Okay, so watch what I did. When you hit trace, look, you've got the plots. See in this upper left-hand corner? So the student asked, I hit trace, I don't have the same thing you do. You've got to hit the up cursor, and that toggles through all the things on the graph. So if I hit up once, I've got y2 equals 1, which is something we did from a previous problem. And then if I hit it up one more time, I've got the 1.5, blah, 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 my exponential function. Once I'm there, I hit 2000, and then hit enter. And so I get 308.26. So it looks like it'll be about 308,000,000.26. Does that make sense? Any questions on that one?